I've been asked to talk a little bit about roaring fires, flickering flames, dying embers, or cold ashes. Roaring fires, I can tell an awful lot about people by a very simple device called an alarm clock. How many of you have an internal clock? It goes off same time every morning, and as soon as your eyes open, your feet head for the floor, you jump out of bed and say, "Oh man, I get to go to work today." Ooh, about 10 roaring fires. How many of you set the alarm, and when it goes off, you hit the snooze button? Our flickering flames. How many of you don't even set the alarm? If you wake up, you get up. Our dying embers. How many of you sold your alarm clock at the last yard sale? Well, obviously, being a roaring fire, who's going to make the better employee, a roaring fire or a cold ash? Who's going to make the better manager? Who's going to make the better family member? Now, being a roaring fire, a lot of that does depend upon luck. There is a lot of luck involved in life. Now, I know you Presbyterians are having a hard time, but stay with me. There are things we cannot control. It just happens. It helps us, it hurts us. I've been a family life educator for decades. I will tell you what I've concluded. Marriage is pure luck. Well, how many of y'all are married? Well, most of you. How many of you got what you thought you were getting when you got married? Okay, rest of you got what you deserved. But who could have known what the other person was like or would become 10, 20, 30 years later? A lot of luck involved. But here's what I discovered. To be successful in life, you have to pay the price. You have to sweat. There are no free lunches. There are no shortcuts. You have to work at it. Let me show you how that works at home. How long does it take a man to pick out a Valentine's Day card for his wife? 30 seconds tops. How many of you men are so cheap, you take your wife down to the store and let her read the cards you would have bought had you bought one? How long does it take a woman to pick out a Valentine's Day card? 2 hours minimum. Gentlemen, if you were picking out a card for someone who controlled 50% of everything you owned, how long would you spend picking out that card? What does a divorce cost where you live? Your spouse is your biggest and best client, and you better treat them that way. Well, what is the most important gift you can bring to your company? What is the most important gift you can bring to your family? If I had to narrow it down to a concept, particularly one that's on my notes, I would say it is a healthy you. Healthy people have a better chance of being a roaring fire than do sick people. Healthy people make better employees than sick people. Healthy people make better family members than sick people. Healthy physically, emotionally, intellectually, relationally, spiritually. Agree or disagree? Hope you agree, because that's where I'm going for the next few minutes.